Hey guys, and welcome to part 3 of Sonic Colors. We're going to the Starlight Carnival, where now you can see we're in a disco party now.
Yay! We're the arcade games.
And this absolutely looks beautiful, especially for the Wii, considering all the neon lights. And it's one of my favourite stages in the game, mainly because of the music. But here, this is the first 30 seconds you do nothing, just run in a straight line.
How often does the game take control away from you?
Not as much as Forces, it's not on autopilot, it's only a few sections, but you still have full control. Remember these guys from Unleashed?
Yeah.
Except these are classic egg pong variations, but they do exactly the same thing. You can't attack them, just avoid them. Because they'll crash into things themselves.
Oh, we're too stupid to see where we're going.
I was not programmed to look back.
Almost sounded like a robotic manic depressed Luigi. What, they're going to turn me into a robot now?
And in terms of the egg pawns, they now have trumpets and white hats on. And this is where we're introduced to the Cube Wisp. Enter Cyphil here. And you saw that was like Spiny from Sonic 2. And you see there, this is all the Cube Wisp does, it just changes them from rings to cubes to create more platforms.
The Eggbots have trumpets now?
Yes.
What are they dressed up like this time?
Like marching parades. And one of the attacks is blowing, if you're right next to it, blowing the trumpet right in your face.
What, is it like a music note that
yeah,
flies
like a music.
towards you?
No, it's not music, no, it's just a loud noise. Look how many ships we can render, guys!
I think it was like Rayman 1, there was like a music world as well, and I think there were enemies who shot music notes at you, I don't remember.
And here's the Motobugs, the first ever enemy that Sonic ever faced. All you can do is quick step them, because the way they're racing against you, and if they race behind you, you get hit, but you can quick step them. There's also a black one, which is a leader. When he pops up, and if you take him out, it takes rest of every. It's like the
It's like a domino effect.
Yeah, if you take out the black one, all the rest will go down. It's like the gold robots in Sonic Heroes. They're the leaders. If you destroy him, the rest will blow up. But the black ones are very rare, and they're bigger too. And sometimes when you quick step them, they refill your boost gauge, so you can still go on.
Also get a bonus. I'm not sure, but I think you might have the S rank. Call it a gut feeling. So many points.
Oh, but that's the thing. You can only get certain points because the game will recognize you're abusing the bonuses and then it'll stop. Be sure to jump on that platform, otherwise it'll automatically send you high up into the air. It's not a death, it's just an annoyance and wastes time.
I love that music.
Aye. Oh, I know the chunky that left these junkies. Now, for this bit right here, you want to go for the middle platform, because the way it goes, if you jump on the left, it'll send you to the right, and then to the middle, and then to here. It's a speedrun trick. Just go for the middle. You just gotta remember, but yes, you have a double jump in this game, which can help you. Again, me bumping to the music.
What, are we playing DDR?
Cube! Roger Quicksmith also does the voices of the announcer when you use the Wisps.
Oh, so that's him shouting Cube?
Yeah, Laser, Drill, no, that's Roger. Along with the cuties like, crude, great, awesome!
Sounds really different there, actually. Like, I wouldn't be able to tell that time unless you told me that.
Well, it is Roger.
It's got great range.
This is the last piece of Act 1. Again, Act 1 is really the biggest of them all in terms of Starlight. In terms of Starlight Carnival. Skyrocketing in space. And a little hop to go with it.
I love how they like rotate the screen to try and throw you off. It's
Aye.
like, oh.
I was off by a couple of points. It doesn't matter, I've already S-ranked this plenty of times before.
Have you S-ranked everything in the game?
Nope. That's hard. But I'm close so far. Like you can see there, it gives you a total amount of ranks per stage, and when you're in the hub menus, if you press the Z button, it'll give you a list of all your records. This is my favorite. I think, again, it's hard to pick a favorite because all these tunes are so good in their own way. But this is a faster beat version of it. And it's ruined by Sci-Fi. No music for you. Oh, it's the dynamite blocks. Touch these and then they'll do a countdown and they'll blow up.
Yeah, again, the extra stages and forces reuse them, so I know about some of the mechanics from this, just not everything.
And this is what the cube does. It destroys those bomb, not the bomb blocks, but the regular squares. So you can get rings or access to red rings, like so. And to be honest, when the camera pans out, it is kind of difficult to see where you are.
Get the wisp.
This is a little bit tedious considering you're going down.
Doing it over and over again.
Aye, because you have to press the Z button over and over to switch them between rings and cubes.
Now, was that wall jump introduced in this, or...?
No, the wall jump was introduced. Remember in Unleashed you had to get a power up for it? But here, it's here by default. Unlike in Generations where you can only wall jump Pacific walls, you can wall jump any wall.
Over on Mega Man X on this?
Yeah, it looks like it. By the way, even when you're in that cube form before you switched it, you could still get hit.
Oh, that's annoying.
Because there's been many moments in that act where I get to the bomb and then I don't get that egg pawn that's shooting the gun and I get hit.
Well, I bet that eggbot was placed there on purpose to try and throw you off.
And here's Act 3. This is where they introduces the spring mechanic actually, where throughout this is an auto scroller, but for the entire this is the thing. The yellow spring, it actually tracks your movement, so you can hold all the way to the right and it still keeps up with you. Until a bit gets to those moments where it goes up. If you overshoot it, you'll lose a life. I'll at least give this as a bit of a variety on the auto scrolling, but I'd rather not have an auto scroller to begin with.
Yeah, because when I play platformers, especially in games like Mario 3, I like to go at my own pace. Like if I want to just explore the level, do that, I'll do that. But auto scrollers, they not only are they slow, but they don't really give you time to explore because you have to keep moving or you'll die.
Aye, but there's a thing, I don't think they ever explained the reason for it to be an auto scroller. Unless, like, oh, you've got an insta-kill laser coming behind you or something like that.
No, we're just wearing a Battle Royale collar.
Right, this bit all you can do is jump higher. If you stomp on the spring, it launches you higher. And there's the spinners from Unleashed. And yes, they have the regular ones and the ones that are electricity. And they introduce a new variety which are metal, which they cannot be defeated, but all they do is just fly down and cause nothing. So it's more like an obstacle than an enemy.
Yeah, it'll just probably hit it while you're trying to make a jump.
Aye. It doesn't damage it, but they don't damage you unless you touch it.
Wonderful red ring placement here.
Oh, and somehow I got that. Okay.
The extra life calls to you.
I don't need it. I'm already got 16. Besides, I'm at the end anyway. I don't want to risk it just for one life.
But if you lose a life trying to get an extra life, you then have to get that extra life to make it worth it.
Are you trying to riddle my mind now?
Riddle me this, Andrew. What's one life worth?
Nothing.
Ever the optimist.
Here we go to Act 4. This one uses these robots that fire lasers in a hexagon direction. All you can do is just avoid them. They cannot be defeated.
I imagine this is a really annoying stage to speedrun
It
because
is,
you'll constantly get hit by the lasers.
Yeah.
Because I had to deal with a stage that was really, really bad. Extra stage.
I remember when I said the control's not perfect when it comes to really precise platforming. It's when again, if the platforms were wide, it's not a problem. It's a problem when you have to do those really tiny ones.
We got no rings here, so pressure's on.
Aye. I'm fine. Checkpoint.
And then you get hit by the laser. After hitting the checkpoint.
No, a thwomp comes out of nowhere.
God damn it, I'm angry! Wait, I'm a Mario anime. Why am I in Sonic?
If there's one thing I would like is an actual Mario and Sonic platformer, not a minigame collection, Nintendo, Sega.
Who knows, maybe we'll get it with this. And there's another red ring right at the very end of the stage there, above the gold ring.
You have to take the upper path, which requires the Frenzy Wisp, which you do not get into the last area of the game. Like I said, it encourages replayability.
Ratchet and Clank does that as well. Like, you'll get to some worlds and you won't be able to get a gadget until later on, and then you go back to the world and get something later with that gadget.
And now in Act 5, we're going to be introduced to the Hover Wisp.
Tripping out, man.
Yep. I can see everything now. And here's me abusing the quick step for bonus points. Again, the game will stop the bonuses after some time.
You just have to say, hey, dipshit, play properly.
Aye. It will stop the bonuses after a while. The same goes for the Wisps, actually, because every time you use the Wisps, it gives you Wisps bonus. But they will stop after a few seconds. There's a red ring here. Again, you can control, unlike, yeah, I know that logically you can ignore anti-gravity, but it's good when you can control gravity at your will. Another PA announcement Eggman can say in this location is, to avoid embarrassing hickeys, please try to avoid staining the seat cushions. Those things are expensive. And here's the Hover Wisp. You can fly like Tails, and you can only do that for a certain amount of time when the bar goes out.
Wow, that's slow.
But when you're near a trail of rains, you can do the lightspeed dash by pressing the B button. But the thing is, when you do the lightspeed dash, it does not drain the bar on the right. So as long as you got a trail of rains, you can go flying. That pink one is for a pink wisp later on.
What was Eggman saying there?
Something like, if I can recall, I'm just trying to think about it. In the meantime, while I think about it, enjoy this momentarily 3D section right here.
Just trying to think and concentrate. Let me help with that. Da 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 da. Hey, da 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 da.
Now, the problem with the homing attack is that the target reticle does not appear until the enemy's on the screen, so you could end up missing an enemy and getting hit.
Oh, just like Forces then, where you have
Yes,
to have to wait for it to target.
Yeah, and then you can do the homing attack.
So slow, not anymore.
Aye, when you get a lightspeed dash. Oh, I think the word he was saying is, Eggman was saying is, earlier was like, this ride is not suitable for children under 12 or over 13. It is also not safe for 13-year-olds.
And who's it safe for?
Doesn't say any. He doesn't
No
say
one.
who's for. No one.
Then that defeats the entire point of the roller coaster. It's supposed to be safe.
Again, you can listen to the PA announcements on YouTube, where you can clearly hear them.
And you messed that ring.
Aye, because the depth was throwing me off here, because I didn't know if I would overshoot the goal ring. Satisfaction.
Or like ask for shit.
What's that song called? It was like, I can't remember. It's like, blah 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, blah blah blah. That's real helpful.
Yeah, yeah.
Just type that up, folks. Blah blah blah. See what comes up.
Right, on to the last act of Starlight Carnival.
It's like those people who like share pictures of an anime character and then they don't say what it's from.
No, it's like that joke. Attack mode blah 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 blah. This act is just a big tower to the top using the Hover Wisp.
Is it the Dark Tower?
Maybe.
Stephen King.
Once you collect another wisp, it refills the bar.
I thought those were the red rings there in the middle.
No, there are red rings here, but that's not. Then they're the 10 rings. The lightspeed dash also counts towards the red rings for this wisp. You see there's the metal spine, the metal spinners. They just do nothing.
Don't they get the electricity eventually?
No, they're just metal. These spinies are annoying upside down because of the bombs they shoot. Press that switch and activates a ring, but there's also a red ring up here. But you have to be quick because this ring path actually disappears if you take too long. And that gets rid of the red ring. That's the only way the red ring will appear.
Don't give you a lot of time for that.
No, they don't. But there's a red ring up here that I'm gonna get.
Or will you?
Yes.
I wanted you to fail so I could laugh at you.
Is that what best friends do, eh? Laugh at each other's expense?
Well, you do it to me all the time. Oh.
You don't die when you're in the Wisp and all that, but you'll lose rings, but when you're at 0 rings, you don't lose a life. It's when you're in regular Sonic and you get hit, you lose a life.
How'd you hit the spike?
It's very tricky. But again, if you don't have the Wisp, you can just use the metal spinners just to get up. And there's the go run right there. And done.
Yay!
Another satisfaction S rank.
Satisfaction. So I was about to say if you messed that life up. That'd be so amateurish.
Go to Gameland, Andrew. No.
Maybe they'll have the House of Dead. It's Sega owns us after all. And that.
So here we go into the last boss. Well, boss for Starlight.
What? We're already finished with the game? Getting a bit ahead of yourself here, don't you think?
There's actually a unique thing for this game, actually. You can... Like, you see these cutscenes, they will be different depending on if you went to Sweet Mountain first or Starlight Carnival first. So if you went to Starlight Carnival, you would get this cutscene in Sweet Mountain.
Tails, is that you humming?
Or snoring. All systems, full power!
What you say? Oh, that you only meant well. Well, of course you did. Ooh, what you say?
Tails, buddy?
He's my buddy now.
What have you done to him?
Me.
I shoved a laser up his arse, that's what I've done.
Unless shooting him with my mind control beam that runs on alien
Oh
energy
my
counts is
god,
doing
that's the
something
last
good.
thing Eggman should be running around with.
And that's his ultimate plan for the Earth.
To get to me, you're going to have to go through your best.
It's official, Tails is faster than Sonic.
Just jump over him!
And I only used a small prototype.
Enjoy it while you can.
Oh, I will. In fact, the only way to make this better would be to have you two.
Oh, we getting a boss.
Mortal Kombat!
Dun, 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 dun. You getting a boss fight with Tails?
No.
Ah. Kinda wanted to beat Tails up. After all the shit he gives you.
I'd rather be
Sonic
up
2.
I'd rather be up Charmy than Tails.
Lousy, cheap alien energy. Ran out of juice. Well, I'll get more. Lots more. And then I won't just control one little punk, but the whole universe.
Didn't you just call Tails your best buddy earlier?
I'll leave you your own private tour.
There's something that doesn't make sense. Look, he doesn't need the capsule and he's in space, and then he suddenly needs it?
Monstro?
No, this is a carrier.
I told you he had an evil plot, and coming here was a good idea. There it is, straight from the horse's mouth.
We didn't bet.
Dang.
No money for you, Sonic. Right, this boss fight is actually my favorite of the three bosses because of the music. But this is essentially like an Unleash boss. You've got constantly run and get to the end, but the engine you have to constantly home attack it or just use the Wisp. Because what it does is it'll drop containers and rocks, but some of those containers will contain a Wisp capsule. So this is all you're doing for the boss fight.
So the boss is helping you.
Yes. And you can abuse the quick step here. But this way it gets to this, I recommend you slow down so you can see what Wisp you're gonna get, and then just laser, fire, boom. That is satisfying.
Will I get the laser one here?
Yeah, this is the you get the laser Wisp here. Later on, you'll get a different Wisp. Here's another thing about these bosses. You remember those three bosses we fought? And we've got 3 more zones. They're essentially going to be the same bosses, only slightly harder. So really you had 3 different boss designs.
The grenades are going crazy. Kind of look like grenades, but...
Aye, but they're just robot heads. Again, the most effective weapon is the lightning. No, not lightning, a laser. Lightning was introduced in the DS version of Lost World. Yeah, this game was also released on the Nintendo DS with its own exclusive wisps. Like this one here, the exclusive ones were Spike, Cube, Hover, and Frenzy. While the DS version had Burst and Void. And that's the boss done.
Can those damage you, the boxes that are flying out?
No, the boxes are they'll destroy when they hit the ground. It's when they throw spike balls that's a different.
There'll be some shit the boxes actually hit you and cost you your rings. No, it's right for you.
Oh, you're forgetting. You were saying?
Ah!
Remember, it counts your total scores, then it adds your time bonus, then your rings, and that'll
No,
be your
man,
total
but the
score.
boxes, like imagine the boxes hitting you. No, that's right for you. But yeah, left foot up, chuckle butt.
That's generator 3 destroyed.
Godzilla is approaching the generator. The generator is losing power.
What's up, Yacker? So did you get any more info out of him?
Nah, he kept on telling me shy about his
Eggman is going to use
his
this
library of
he's
books.
stealing for a mind
I know, I'm just pulling this out of my arse.
He
but
wanted me to listen to his family.
controlling all these aliens?
look at him dancing there.
At first, I thought that Yacker was talking about how Baldy Nosehair was using burps to do it.
He is pretty gassy. Maybe the smell would knock him out? I don't know, something doesn't seem right with that.
That's what I said.
And there's an old attention to detail as well. Pay attention to the shadows.
Yeah.
Like you'd think they would not bother with him, but you could still see the shadow.
Yeah, like the older Resident Evil games, the shadows would just be circles, I believe.
That was in the PS1 days where everything was blocking square.
Code Veronica also had the circle shadows.
Hold the whole planet?
Well, it's tiny, but still, yeah.
Okay, fine. 5 generators? Well, I've already leveled 2.
So, if my
There we go, kids. Here's kindergarten maths for those who've never went to school.
Nobody said there'd be math, but I'm with you, buddy.
We should get moving. Yacker says the aliens.
Right, as we find out that we have to go and save more aliens, we'll see you in the next part, folks.
Woo!